Good afternoon to all of you. Today I'm going to be presenting control and coordination. To be precise, I will be explaining to you certain subtopics under control and coordination. Let us start with the first one. I'm going to be explaining you CNS and PNS. Did you know that the nervous system can be divided into two parts? The first one being CNS, second one being PNS. Now look into this diagram. What do you see? It says central nervous system over here, also known as CNS, because the full form of CNS is the central nervous system. So what is the central nervous system comprised of? As you can see, it comprises of the brain and the spinal cord. It's called the central nervous system because it is practically where everything in the nervous system, the total nervous system, is centered around that specific area. Like that is the center of attention. And the PNS is basically the short form of the peripheral nervous system, which consists of all the nerves, brain, spinal cord, and all the nerves that are connected to the spinal cord. So here you have the nerves, and they will basically transmit the signals. But they're not, they don't control anything independently. These two have major controlling powers. They can control many functions, but and the spine it mostly controls for instant impulses, and that will be explained in the reflex arc. So yeah, these are the nerves, but I know they're a bit shabby, but the point is those are nerves, and that is the PNS. Now let's move on to the reflex arc. Now how does the now if I want to explain the reflex arc, I'll have to start with the example. Imagine if you imagine if you have a knife, you're cutting vegetables, you accidentally cut your finger off. Well, if you do that, you'll automatically pull your hand out, right, like this. So yeah, so basically it starts from the receptor organ, which is the receptor in that finger. The sensory and then it moves on to the sensory neurons. Basically, there will be some neuron that is specialized in sensory. That is why it exists. From the sensory neurons, it moves on to the spinal cord, where the instantaneous where it basically takes it to the relay neuron, and the relay neuron it sends it to the motor neuron, which basically makes you take your hand away. It's the effector and the receptor and the effector. But before doing that, it will also send an electric impulse to the brain. So that's how it moves. There will be a relay neuron, there will be a sensory neuron to send it to the spinal cord, a relay neuron to relay it, like give a relay to the electric impulses, send one to the brain and send one to the motor neuron. Now, why it sends it to the brain so that you don't make that same mistake again. So yeah. Now why doesn't it just directly go to the brain? Well, why doesn't the brain make the decision? That's because for it to go all the way to the brain, it's going to take a lot more time. Even though electrical impulses move at a rapid speed, it still takes a lot of time for it to move all the way from the receptor organ to the brain. So that's all for today. I hope you learned something new.